Hello fellow Helldivers, Thornton here, and we got a new patch yesterday which did fix some things, as it is going to be part of the 60-day plan that Arrowhead has planned to go ahead and fix the game. That being said, we're about 14 or 15 days away from the first major competition coming to Helldivers 2, and it may be an issue for the player base and player count, and it might also be a little exciting for some of you as well. We're going to dive into all of that, but without further ado, let's jump into today's topic. So shortly after we got the Escalation of Freedom update, there was a lot of backlash about the buffs and nerfs in the game, and overall the state of Helldivers 2. That being said, Arrowhead did actually go ahead and put out a post saying that in the next 60 days, they're going to be addressing a lot of things going wrong with the game. They're going to re-examine their approach to balance, they're going to update how the fire damage mechanic works, rework gameplay to prevent excessive ragdolling, and so many other things that they want to go ahead and do to make sure that the player base is pretty happy with the state of the game. And yesterday we got our first rollout with a brand new patch, and it did do a lot of bug fixes. For instance, for crash fixes, they fixed a crash when dropping into a game lobby by invite, fixed a crash that would occur after being kicked for AFK, one that could happen when dropping down into a mission, and one that would occur if shutting down the game during boot. Along with that, there are general weapon and stratagem fixes, such as when the flamethrower particles would ignore enemies, which we're going to talk about in a second because that didn't go over so well, and one where mines can be shot and blown up while near a dangerous object. They also went ahead and did some fixes for the enemies, such as the explosion radius of tentacle stabbing ability and light rockets. This is actually meant to alleviate the excessive ragdolling caused by the impaler and certain automaton enemies that are using light rockets. They're still working though on the ragdoll behavior overall, and they also fixed a bug where the impaler's tentacles could chase you indefinitely in some cases, which I haven't seen, but if anyone has a clip of that, I think it would be hilarious. Along with that, the final thing they did was a miscellaneous fix that would cause soft lock during drop after the host left. And they did go ahead and give us a list of known issues. There's a ton here. You can go ahead and read them if you want, or see it on the official patch notes. I'll leave it in the description below so you guys can go ahead and check all of those out. There's a ton there that apparently Arrowhead is aware of that should be getting fixed soon. However, there was one thing that actually happened in the update, and that's the fact that the flamer was nerfed even harder, which is a little ironic that that's the one weapon, because that's the one people are complaining about with fire mechanics. However, it's important to know that this does seem to be a bug. It wasn't in the patch notes, and according to the final edit there, Arrowhead support has said they have reproduced the issue and passed it on to the devs. So right now, I wouldn't recommend using the flamer until it's fixed, but it is something that isn't supposed to be there. That being said, Twinbeard did have a message for the community in general, saying that I hope you'll stick around, but there's nothing wrong with players playing a game and revisiting it at a later state, especially a live service one that's being worked on continuously. However, with all of that being said, Helldivers 2 future remains uncertain, and the upcoming Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 might just be, a little bit of a challenge for the game, because this game is set to release on September 9th of this year, and this sequel to the critically acclaimed 2011 title has generated a lot of buzz with its focus on brutal co-op action, very similar to what we see in Helldivers 2. It will have its first taste of actual space sci-fi co-op competition. Players are going to be taking on the role of Lieutenant Titus on the Ultramarines, a genetically enhanced super soldier battling against the monstrous Tyranids. This game is a little bit less tongue-in-cheek than Helldivers, but it offers a variety of co-op experiences which will cut into Helldivers 2's player base, including a 3-player campaign mode and a new 6 vs 6 players versus player mode called the Eternal War. The game also features deep character customization options, allowing players to personalize their Space Marines for battle. And the looming release of this new game poses a significant threat to Helldivers 2. Both games offer that similar brand of cooperative actions, but Space Marine 2 benefits from a well-established franchise and a more streamlined co-op focus. Helldivers 2's recent struggle makes it more difficult to compete, especially if the developers can't address the core issues right now plaguing the game. So Helldivers 2 finds itself at a crossroads, not enough to overshadow the problems going on in the game right now. The declining player base in the upcoming release of Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 paint a bleak picture for the future of Helldivers 2, but if there's any studio that can go ahead and weather the storm, it is Arrowhead. Let me know down below, what are your guys' thoughts on some of the patchworks that they're doing? How do you think the balance issues will go? And do you think there's enough time for Arrowhead to turn the ship around before Space Marines 2 comes out? Also, don't forget to check out this video and this video right here, where I cover more news on Helldivers 2. And until next time, everyone, thanks for stopping by and keep spreading democracy.